Good morning. In today's session, we are going to begin how is respiratory substrate glucose oxidized in different ways. So, the most common respiratory substrate is glucose. Respiratory substrate is defined as the substance that is oxidized during the process of respiration to release the energy. Now, whether the individual is aerobe or anaerobe, the first step is always anaerobic and it occur in the cytoplasm of cell, and this is known as glycolysis, and as a result of this the pyruvic acid is formed. Glucose is having the 6 carbon molecule and pyruvic acid is having the 3 carbon molecule. So, 2 molecules of pyruvic acids are formed. Now, this pyruvic acid further undergoes the oxidation depending upon the type of organism, that whether the organism is aerobe or anaerobe. So, if the organism is anaerobe, then you can see the first reaction, that is absence of oxygen. The pyruvic acid undergoes fermentation and result in the formation of ethanol, carbon dioxide and energy. If it occurs in presence of oxygen, that is the last reaction, then it occurs in mitochondria of cell and the pyruvic acid is completely oxidized, as a result of which carbon dioxide, water and energy is formed. This is Krebs cycle. Now see the middle reaction. This is a special type of reaction that occur in the muscle cells when the amount of oxygen become less, and as a result of less oxygen the pyruvic acid forms lactic acid and energy. Because of this lactic acid deposition you experience the muscle cramps. So whenever you work more you have pain in your muscles, so that pain is because of lactic acid. Further, this lactic acid is oxidized to water and carbon dioxide and the pain is gone. So this is how the glucose molecule can be oxidized or can undergo the respiration in different type of organisms. The first reaction that we have seen occurs in the cytoplasm, and that is the anaerobic one, and pyruvic acid is formed. This flowchart is very important from the examination point of view also. So you all draw this flowchart. It is well drawn in your NCERT books also. You can refer NCERT also. Now let us see the mechanism of respiration. Now mechanism of respiration, when we define respiration, respiration means oxidation of food to release energy. Now here the gaseous exchange occur through alveoli. So you can see the alveoli is there and the blood capillary is shown with lot of RBCs. Now you will see that when you breathe in, the oxygen gets in the lungs and finally it reaches the alveoli. The oxygen is more in alveoli than blood, so the oxygen diffuses from alveoli to blood capillary. Now the blood that is coming from the tissue has carbon dioxide, so the carbon dioxide from the blood diffuses into alveoli, and when you breathe out the CO2 moves out. So this is the gaseous exchange during respiration. Now alveoli is having the gaseous exchange because they are thin walled, they are having a large surface area and they have got the rich supply of blood. Now let us see the detail about the process of respiration. Now when you will see the 3 parts are given here: the lungs, the blood capillary and the tissue cell at the base. Now let us see how the process occurs. When you breathe in, the oxygen gets in the lungs, that is alveoli. Now from alveoli the oxygen gets into blood. You very well know the blood has a pigment which is known as hemoglobin. Because of this hemoglobin, the blood is red in color. Now this hemoglobin combines with oxygen and forms oxyhemoglobin, and in the form of oxyhemoglobin the oxygen is transported to tissues. When the oxyhemoglobin reaches the tissue, it again dissociates, or it again splits into hemoglobin and oxygen. The hemoglobin remains in the blood and oxygen gets into the tissue. Inside the tissue, the oxygen does the oxidation of food and releases the energy. As a result of this, the carbon dioxide is produced in the tissues, the energy is produced in the tissues, and water is produced in the tissues. So water and energy remain in the tissues, but since the carbon dioxide is harmful, so this carbon dioxide from the tissue will get into the blood. Again in the blood, the hemoglobin will form the complex with the carbon dioxide, that is carb amino hemoglobin, and in the form of carb amino hemoglobin it reaches at the level of lungs. When it reaches at the level of lungs, the carb amino hemoglobin breaks. The hemoglobin again remains in the blood and CO2 goes into lungs. When you exhale out, the CO2 moves out. So hemoglobin is a very important pigment. It is known as respiratory pigment because it is helping in transportation of respiratory gases, that is oxygen and carbon dioxide. One hemoglobin molecule can carry 4 molecules of oxygen. So if I say in very simple words, then hemoglobin is working like a taxi. From lungs, the passengers are oxygen. When the passengers which are oxygen reach the level of tissue, the passengers move to tissue, that is oxygen gets into tissue, and the taxi, that is hemoglobin, remains in the blood only. But while leaving the tissue, now the passenger is changing. Now the passenger is carbon dioxide. This carbon dioxide is carried from tissue to lungs. Again at the level of the lungs, the passenger, which is carbon dioxide, moves out of the taxi, that is hemoglobin. Hemoglobin is still in the blood only, and carbon dioxide moves out from the lungs when you exhale out. So hemoglobin is the respiratory pigment and play a very important role in transportation of O2 and CO2. In this year's board exam, this was the question for 5 marks, that is discuss in brief the mechanism of respiration. If you have any query or any doubt, you can put your query on call. Thank you.